Arlington National Cemetery is the premier national military cemetery. It honors those who've served our nation and provides a sense of beauty, tranquility, and reverence for our guests and those laid to rest. This video will offer a brief explanation about burial eligibility and honors, and what to expect the day of the funeral. Most active duty or retired members of military service are eligible to be interred at Arlington. Those eligible for in-ground interment include active duty members of the armed forces, except those members serving on active duty for training only, their spouses, minor children, or dependent adult children. Retired members of the armed forces with at least 1 day of active duty, other than for training, and who qualified to collect retired pay, their spouses, minor children, and dependent adult children. Recipients of the following medals: the Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, Navy Cross, Air Force Cross, Distinguished Service Medal, Silver Star, or the Purple Heart. Any former prisoner of war whose service terminated honorably and died on or after November 30, 1993. Those who are eligible for above-ground interment in the columbarium or niche wall include any member of the armed forces who dies on active duty, other than for training, former members of the armed forces whose last service finished honorably, other than for training, as well as their spouses, minor children, and dependent adult children, members of the reserves, Army National Guard, or Air National Guard who die while on active duty for training or full-time service, as well as their spouses, minor children, and dependent adult children. Reserve and National Guard members with at least 1 day of active duty, other than for training, and who qualified to collect retired pay. Anyone who is eligible for in-ground interment is eligible for above-ground interment in the columbarium or niche wall. To schedule a funeral service at Arlington National Cemetery, please call 877-907-8585. A case number will be assigned, and a cemetery representative will contact you to establish burial eligibility. Eligibility can be documented through the DD-214 Certificate of Release or Discharge from Active Duty or Service Equivalent received at time of separation from the service. Arlington National Cemetery requires all documentation to efficiently schedule your loved one's service. The required documents are the DD-214 or Service Equivalent, Death Certificate, and Cremation Certificate if applicable. 100% of the cremated remains are required. It is the family's responsibility to provide the service member's eligibility documents. A service will not be scheduled until all required documents are received. Arlington National Cemetery conducts approximately 27 funerals per day, so it can be several weeks to several months from the time of a loved one's passing to the actual date of service. The next of kin can request to have a military chaplain perform the committal service, including from a variety of denominations. When requested, the next of kin may expect a call from the military chaplain conducting their loved one's service about a week before the scheduled funeral. There are 2 levels of burial honors rendered for veterans at Arlington National Cemetery. They are standard military honors and full military honors. The type of honors rendered at a service depends on the military rank of the deceased veteran. Enlisted members of the armed forces receive standard military honors. These include a casket team, firing party, military chaplain if desired, and a bugler. The family may also elect to use their own religious officiant. Commissioned, warrant officers, and enlisted members in the pay grade of E9 receive full military honors. These include a casket team, firing party, bugler, escort platoon, military chaplain, and military band. A caisson will be provided if requested and available. Enlisted members of the armed forces who died as a result of wounds received from hostile enemy action receive full military honors and expedited scheduling. Members of the Marines or Army who reached the rank of colonel or higher may request a caparison horse, which is a riderless horse. Spouses, minor children, and adult dependent children with no prior military service receive a casket team and military chaplain if requested. For more details on burial honors, please visit our website. Guests often wonder what to expect the day of the funeral. Here is the order of events. Family members and guests should arrive no later than 30 to 45 minutes prior to the scheduled start of the service. If the next of kin chooses to make the information available, the starting time and meeting location for each funeral service can be found on our website. Service start times are also provided to the family on the funeral confirmation sheet. A funeral representative will meet the family and guide them through the burial on the day of the service. There are 4 potential meeting locations for funeral services. Memorial Avenue is the meeting point for funeral services with a large number of people who are attending a gravesite service or are coming in procession from a funeral home or church. If the family requests a chapel service before the gravesite service, then either the Memorial Chapel or the Old Post Chapel on Joint Base Meier-Henderson Hall are the meeting points. Please keep in mind that it will take more time to gain access to Joint Base Meier-Henderson Hall, where both chapels are located, due to security checkpoints at the installation's gates. Please be aware that requesting a chapel service may add additional time to schedule your loved one's service. If there is no chapel service, then the Arlington National Cemetery Administration Building will be your meeting point. If a caisson is being used, family members and guests are taken to the transfer location where the casket or urn is placed on the caisson from the funeral coach. Family members can choose to walk in the procession. Please keep in mind that Arlington National Cemetery is very hilly, and some processions are extended distances, so wear comfortable walking shoes. The procession moves at a moderate pace, and those walking must be able to keep up with the caisson. Also, keep in mind that no vehicles may be left behind at the transfer point or chapel at Joint Base Meier-Henderson Hall. Once the caisson or funeral coach reaches the gravesite, members of the military service render a salute. It is appropriate for military members in uniform to render the hand salute at all times while the remains are moving and during the rendering of military honors and taps. Civilian personnel attending should also place their right hand over their heart while the remains are moving and during the rendering of military honors and taps. The casket team secures the casket. The commissioned or non-commissioned officer in charge and the chaplain salute. The family is seated, and the officer in charge backs away. The chaplain then performs the service. Once the chaplain concludes the service and backs away, the officer in charge steps forward. A cemetery representative asks the family members to rise for the presentation of military honors. The officer in charge presents arms to initiate the rifle volley. Once the rifle volley is complete, the bugler plays taps. The flag is folded and passed to the officer in charge. And the officer in charge presents the flag to the next of kin. If there's a military chaplain on site, then the chaplain is presented the flag, and he then presents it to the family. For veterans of the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Coast Guard, an Arlington lady presents a card of condolences to the next of kin on behalf of their service chief. For veterans of the Marine Corps, a Marine will present these condolences. The chaplain or family clergy extends condolences, and the cemetery representative announces that the service is concluded. Attendees are asked to return to their vehicles. For more detailed information on burial eligibility and honors, headstones and other grave markers, and burial liners and vaults, please go to our website or call 877-907-8585. We understand this is a lot of information, but please be assured our representatives will work with you to guide you through this process. It's our goal to conduct each service with the utmost respect, honor, and dignity our veterans and their families deserve. Arlington National Cemetery. Honor, remember, explore.